Good morning once again, and welcome to the Haven Financial Group radio show. Happy New Year. Thanks for listening. Feel free to give us a call at 612-504-8400. Any questions, any concerns or reservations about retirement? Maybe this is the year you're going to retire. Maybe this is the year you're going to do that estate plan. By the way, you've been probably thinking about that for 10 or 20 years. Why not make this the year? Kim, good to be talking with you. We have Kyle Thomas on this week. Great to have him, a certified financial planner on the Haven team. Emotions, portfolio management, wealth, money. Let's face it, sometimes money can really cause the emotions to overflow.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't fault anyone. I'm certainly someone who feels that way. I don't think anyone can fault anyone for being emotional about their money because they've worked their whole lives for it. So that can be really tough. But you also, I think, Larry, and I've heard you say this so many times, you need to build a plan and a portfolio that can be protected from what might cause us to be emotional about our money.
Yeah, in conversations, I've done this many years. It certainly took me a long time to learn this, but people think differently about money. Some really, really worry, and some should be worried, and they're not worried, and other ones worry, and they shouldn't worry. I think of this couple. They both lost their spouses, but they've been life partners now, and they both are very successful. And he's got a pension. They got a place in Arizona here in Egan. He's got a pension, and they're a lot of retirement assets. She has a lot of retirement assets, no pension. And it took me about the third meeting, and I really sensed she really worried, and she's younger and still working. And she kept saying about money. I go, you really worry about money, don't you? And he goes, you finally, the husband, not the husband, the life partner says, yes, she worries about it like every single day. Neither one of them need to worry about money. They're very well put together. They're planned great, but she worries. So we're very cognitive of this. Now, what does that emotion do? How does it affect your financial decisions? What Kyle would attest, this is where we come into play, or whoever you're working with should come into play to remind folks, hey, remember, we've had these conversations. We're prepared for the bull market and the bear market. Oh, that's right. We did talk about this. Buy low, sell high. It's what a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that's the opposite of what we should be doing. So at the end of the day, do you have a partner that can talk you through this? Sometimes we feel more like counselors than advisors, but that's okay. That's part of our job description too.
So at what point, Kyle, do you recognize that somebody maybe is trying to make a decision out of emotion, and how do you handle that?
Yeah, it usually coincides with there's this fear and greed chart. I think it's on CNN's market watch site, and that just follows with whatever the market's doing. And when the market's good, it's on the greed side. When the market's down, it's on the fear side, and that's typically when we get some questions on that. And it's normal. It's normal for people to feel a little anxious when the market's down, but that's where we do a really good job in preparing people for those times as well, though. And that's what the planning can do for you, and providing you comfort into knowing that whatever we pick out, it doesn't matter what our portfolio is that we selected. We have a long-term mindset, and if it has some bumps in the road here, in this current year, then we know that we're going to be fine 5 years from now. Mm-hmm. But when that happens, we have a conversation and make sure that they're feeling secure. Most of the time, they just want a conversation and to know that they're going to be okay. And that's what we provide, every single time. And we make sure that from the beginning, we don't have a plan that's set up to fail anyways. So when we come in and have those conversations, they know that they're going to be okay by the end of it. And we've picked portfolios that have they're well-rounded for retirement, and they can perform well in positive markets, and even negative markets, they outperform what the benchmarks are doing. And the way that we've done that is through back testing the portfolios. We've back tested these across 40 and 80 years, and in seeing what is an optimal portfolio between the different types of stocks and the different types of bonds and different types of fixed accounts. What's the most optimal strategy for that going forward? They always say that you don't want to use past performance as an indicator of future returns, but it's the best data that we have. In 80 years, it's a long time of data to use going forward. So I think it's a pretty good tool to use for what our projections going forward would be.
Mm-hmm. And Larry, at what point do you have to say, or how frequently do you have to gently suggest to people, turn your television off?
Well, we are on the radio, but let's face it,
right.
Media sells fear, and those external factors, you can overwhelm yourself with negativity. Rumors get started, outdated events. Let's face it, they're all out there. And then you got the internet and everything else. And, it's funny, but it's not funny. I would say on an average year, I get, with the volatile markets, or even not volatile, I'll get maybe a dozen calls. Okay. From those that are either that listen to the way left news or the way right news. And I bet you last year, I probably got a dozen of those calls, and they go like this. Larry, you need to call so-and-so right away. Oh, really? Yeah, it's critical. Oh, what's going on? And then I'll call them up. Larry, I need all my money out of the market by the end of the day. Really? What's going on? Well, did you know all the banks in the United States are going to be closed by Wednesday? Really? You're kidding me. Funny, I haven't heard anything about that. Yep. What's the source? Well, and then it comes out that it was one of these sources. It's like, yeah, really? In fact, we probably have a handful of clients now that they abided by that news, and they're still sitting in cash, making really nothing. So again, sometimes it's maybe better off to turn off that media. I'm not against the news, certainly not against the news, but retirees maybe have more time on their hands. Yeah. Be careful what you do at that time, whether it's media, whether it's online. Just fourth quarter last year, we did 4 classes, the local police department, on fraud prevention. You got to be careful with all those scammers out there. So again, having a plan, being aware, having a good understanding, more importantly, having a partner that you trust. And let's face it, we're in the trust business, literally. People entrust us with their money to invest or whatever else we're helping them with. And we have the privilege of being able to help lots of people through that. We'll help a lot more people this year. And I hope, if you're listening, that we can sit down with you to have these conversations, take you through our process. And at the end of the day, if it brings you peace of mind, there's something to say about a new year and peace of mind.
100%. You're so right. Let me just change gears before we have to go today. It's 2026. Here we are. This is our first show in the new year. And I know that you guys are planning lots of educational seminars for this new year. So walk everybody through how they can learn about those and what the availability of those might be.
My suggestion would be go to havenfinancialgroup.com. All our events will be on there, both external events at libraries, colleges, et cetera, and also our education center. We'll have events there. Clients, family, friends, and the public are welcome. It's first come, first serve. There's waiting lists on a lot of these events. These events can be from senior fraud prevention to Social Security and tax. We have an RMD and tax at the Jensen Supper Club coming up, Porter Creek. We also have Medicare Made Simple classes. All these classes specifically geared towards retirement planning. We have a wills, trust, and legacy planning with our good partners at Provision Law, Carrie and Keith. Again, all this is educational. Materials are provided. For participating, or maybe you can't come to the class, you can come on in and we'll take you through a very informative discovery meeting. Get to know you, ask questions. You get to ask us questions. And then we come up with some ideas, recommendations, suggestions. And then hey, this sounds good. these people at Haven, they're not too bad. They're pretty good people.
Mhm.
By the way, you mentioned it earlier. We are coffee snobs and we like good cookies. Maybe that's all you get out of it. More power to you. But from that, you're going to say, wow, I think they would be good to work with. Then we begin an implementation process. From there, it's a strategy, implementation, and then now it's simply maintaining, modifying, rebalancing. Life happens, things happen, good happens, bad happens. Hopefully this year it's all good. So that's our process. And we're looking to cultivate naturally long-term relationships, over years, because we want retirement to be 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And again, it's a privilege to be in this business. We don't want to be the stereotype that says, wow, talked to Larry and Kyle 5 years ago, haven't heard from them since. I will tell you, that's not Haven Financial Group.
Yeah. So it's 2026, folks. Let's get started right now. And the way you do it is give them a call. 612-504-8400. That is the first step you have to take to get that meeting, sit down, chat with these folks, tell them what it is that you're thinking about when it comes to retirement. 612-504-8400. This has been very informative, gentlemen. Thank you so very much.
Kim, thank you. Happy 2026. Let's go. Let's make the most of this year. How about it?